YouTube, it's your boy, Blue Blood Sports TV, back at y'all with another one. So, we've heard Matchroom CEO and promoter Eddie Hearn, who promotes two-time unified heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Anthony Joshua, claim that Anthony Joshua will be facing his fellow countryman and undefeated two-time heavyweight world champion British superstar boxer Tyson the Gypsy King Fury. With that said, we also understand that Tyson Fury is in the middle of an arbitration with Olympic bronze medalist, former WBC American heavyweight world champion superstar boxer Deontay the Bronze Bomber Wilder, after Tyson Fury contractually agreed to face Deontay Wilder in a trilogy match ahead of their highly anticipated second fight. Now, they already fought twice. The first fight ended in a draw. Second fight took place this February, February of 2020. Okay, so now they contractually agreed to have a trilogy match, win, lose, or draw, regardless of how the second fight played out. They agreed to have a trilogy match. Now Tyson Fury, he saw another opportunity, as he's done before. He was contractually obligated to face Deontay Wilder in an immediate rematch after their first fight. Tyson Fury, he decided to do a about face. He decided to sign with top ranked legendary CEO and promoter Bob Arum and ESPN out of the blue, pull out of the immediate rematch, then have two interim fights against Otto Wallin and Tom Schwartz, and then go into the rematch with Deontay Wilder. Deontay Wilder patiently waited, and he fought his mandatory at Dominic Brazil. Then he fought a rematch with Luis King Kong Ortiz. Then he went into the rematch with Tyson Fury, in which Tyson Fury got a 7th round stoppage victory as Deontay Wilder's team old trainer threw in the towel, and Deontay Wilder has since parted with that trainer, legendary New York legend Mark Breland. With that said, now there's a lot of asterisks by the second fight. There's a lot of claims against both sides. Nonetheless, they're contractually obligated to have a trilogy match. And Tyson Fury, he sees the opportunity to have an undisputed match with fellow countryman Anthony Joshua, in which they have yet to have, they have a 120-year plus drought since they had an undisputed, born and bred heavyweight world champion. So this would end the drought one way or the other, because it's a 98% chance that you're going to get a winner. Unless the fight ends in a draw, you're going to get a winner, and somebody's going to be the undisputed United Kingdom heavyweight world champion. So they're looking to create history. It's legacy defining for Tyson Fury's co-promoter and Queensberry Promotions CEO, legendary promoter in the UK, Frank Warren, and also Eddie Hearn, for delivering this fight. Eddie Hearn, he even stated, I must deliver this fight for the fans. But if it doesn't happen, it's not my fault that they go to arbitration. That's on Tyson Fury's side, essentially. But he still, in the same token, says, I have to do everything I can to deliver this fight to the UK and the UK fans, But he's guaranteeing it. But in the same token, Eddie Hearn is saying it's not his fault if the fight doesn't come to fruition, because he don't know what's going on with the arbitration. Now we know legendary promoter, top-ranked CEO and promoter Bob Arum, he recently stated that they went to the arbitration hearing, in which the arbitration turned into negotiations, and he would bet that Deontay Wilder is going to be the next fight for Tyson Fury, and he would bet that the Anthony Joshua fight is not going to happen. Frank Warren, on his part, he co-promotes Tyson Fury in the UK. He stated that Bob Arum wants to stage a fight in July, at the latest August, for Tyson Fury, who's been out the ring since February of 2020. And he stated that he wants Tyson Fury to stay active, and Tyson Fury wants to stay active. But on the flip side of that, there's no proof of funds on the part of the Saudi Arabia investment group that Eddie Hearn is dealing with to try to bring this fight to fruition. So Tyson Fury has refused to sign the contract. But 3 weeks ago, they told you that Tyson Fury agreed to everything and signed the contract. That was March 16th of 2021. That was over 3 weeks ago. And now we have a case where, they're now stating that the fight will be held in August 14th in Saudi Arabia, okay? But Deontay Wilder, he's preparing for a trilogy match. Deontay Wilder is training, and he let it be known that we will be facing Tyson Fury in a trilogy match, and I'll be the two-time world champion, heavyweight world champion. Well, now he's even got some more backing as the WBC sanctioned body president, Mauricio Suleiman. He's come out, and now he's saying he would bet that Deontay Wilder is facing Tyson Fury in the trilogy match, and he left Deontay Wilder now as the #1 mandatory challenger for Tyson Fury, expecting Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury to do it again. Deontay Wilder was the champion going into the rematch. They have a contract that Deontay Wilder gets an opportunity to regain his title should he lose, and even if he did win, to give Tyson Fury another opportunity to attempt to become a two-time world champion. So you've never seen a champion who's contractually obligated to get his rematch not get the rematch after losing his title one time. This was an attempt on the part of Hasim Rahman when he knocked out former United Kingdom undisputed heavyweight champion, but he represented 3 countries, that being Lennox Lewis, Hall of Famer, icon, superstar, who was the represented Canada. He also represented Jamaica, and he also represented the UK. That's the reason why the UK didn't totally embrace Lennox Lewis as the United Kingdom born and bred heavyweight undisputed champion. That was on display when Lennox Lewis fought United Kingdom heavyweight champion Frank Bruno. Frank Bruno let it be known that he's a true Brit and that Lennox Lewis was not. Okay, so with that said, Hasim Rahman, he knocked out Lennox Lewis in dramatic fashion and shocked the world. It was an upset, and he tried to defend the title before going into the immediate rematch with Lennox Lewis that they were contractually obligated to have, and Lennox Lewis took him to mediation and arbitration, and he was awarded the immediate rematch, and we know how that played out. He ended up knocking out Hasim Rahman in the rematch, okay? So here's another situation in case where Tyson Fury is trying to do the same thing Hasim Rahman did, but is more than likely not going to be successful. As we see, the WBC is also expecting Deontay Wilder to face off against Tyson Fury in a trilogy match, despite Eddie Hearn coming out and saying he's guaranteeing that Tyson Fury and Anthony Joshua will fight August 14th in Saudi Arabia. They went from announcing a fight this Saturday during the Canelo Alvarez, Billy Joe Saunders unification showdown, massive in Arlington, Texas, with 73,000 fans and Tyson Fury ringside. Well, that turned into Eddie Hearn on Sunday following the fight, saying that it's definitely going to be announced this week. Now we're in Friday, and now we have Eddie Hearn and Bob Arum now saying that the fight will be announced next week. So every day, the weeks turn into days, turn into weeks, the weeks turn into months. Okay, this has been ongoing since June 10th of 2020. Now we're heading in June again, when they had first initially announced that both parties agreed to a 2-fight deal in 2021. That turned into Eddie Hearn now saying that it could possibly be just a one-off, a one-fight, because they cannot guarantee anything without Deontay Wilder being in the equation. Eddie Hearn stated that he was assured that Deontay Wilder, if, he had to be paid, compensatory, he would have to get, some sort of reimbursement for not getting a trilogy match, that it wouldn't be an issue, that he wouldn't stand in the way of the trilogy match. He wouldn't stand in the way of the undisputed match. But then in the same breath, he says, but if he does stand in the way of the undisputed match, that's not on me. So were you guaranteed that he's not, or you don't know what's going to take place? There's a lot of unknown here because Deontay Wilder is owed the trilogy match contractually. The judge is going to rule in the favor of Deontay Wilder because he's contractually obligated to receive a trilogy, as Tyson Fury is contractually obligated and in debt to give Deontay Wilder a trilogy match. They tried to state that October 15th of 2020 was the deadline. Deontay Wilder missed the deadline, but we know that not to be true because we see Tyson Fury and Frank Warren on record in September stating that they knew that Deontay Wilder informed them that he wanted the trilogy match and that they were looking for venues, but all parties involved did not want to stage the fight without fans in attendance and lose amount of money. They broke the heavyweight gate, live gate in Las Vegas. They own the record, so they didn't want to lose that money. They're on record in September as saying such, okay? So that means that they knew that Deontay Wilder wanted the trilogy match, and that he informed them that he was indeed going to activate the contract to where he gets and receives the trilogy match. So therefore, they're on record where I can't see a judge hearing all of the proof that Deontay Wilder has, that they knew that he wanted the trilogy match. Now, if it came down to the global pandemic and social distancing, that's out of the hands of Deontay Wilder, especially if all parties involved just did not want to have the fight without fans in attendance. That's out of his hands. And that means they still was informed of the trilogy match, and they were agreeing, they were all on the same page that they didn't want to have the fight without fans in attendance. So there's no way he could maneuver around Deontay Wilder in the trilogy. So let's see how this plays out. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather Vahid Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.